Welcome to the Toffee Blues, your source for all things Everton. I am Connor Williams, and this is the post-match analysis to the reaction to the 2-1 win over Huddersfield Town in the Carabao Cup. 2-1, 10 men as well. I think I speak for a lot of people when I say it was a bit nervous at one point. I think I share the sentiment of it looked like it could have been a lot worse. But yeah, we'll break it down a bit. I'll have a look at some of your comments now. We've got Rob, who's got his prediction wrong. What was Keane playing at? Total idiot. Reckon he's definitely heading for the exit door. Southern Blue Dino has put that he didn't think Moise Keane should have got a red. It's a bit of a tough one. It's a silly one. It was a silly one at the least to do. It was right in front of the referee. It was off the ball. I thought it was a bit soft, but at the end of the day, it was a silly thing to have done right in front of the referee as well. There was just no need for it. I do agree with Rob, though. I feel like this might be this was his chance, and it's not gone well for him. I think Benitez is probably going to look to get rid of him, to be completely honest. AK Richie Sevens put before anyone says about Keane, he scored a goal that should have stood and was never a red. That is a good point as well. Obviously, the VAR is not in Carabao Cup games, and the officials weren't very good, in my opinion. We should have had a goal. It was miles onside. It should have been 3-1, really. They could argue for their goal. I don't know if it fully was obstructed, but we should have had a goal through Moise Keane anyway. And even if it wasn't a red, and I didn't think it was, it's still a silly thing to have done right in front of the official. Never the right thing to have done. Hacken Isaac Sarak has put, well, that was a beauty. We won. What matters in the end? Exactly that. We won in the end, and that's all that matters. It wasn't exactly the best. Before I will say this, before Moise Keane sending off, I thought we weren't playing well up until then. The last 10 before half time and then afterwards, I feel like Huddersfield did really well to pen us into our own half. And then Moise Keane sending off then made it 10 times harder. The first goal, by the way, for us was really good. Iwobi got his goal. A couple of us in the pre-match was excited to see Iwobi, and he took his goal very well. Theirs came from a set piece, bit disappointed. I thought we'd gone past set pieces being our kryptonite. Obviously, David Angelotti went with his dad. I thought we'd have managed to at least stop set piece goals. And then our goal from Townsend, fair play to Andre Gomez. It did really well to get away from space. And it was a nice finish by Townsend. And then Damari Gray at the end could have scored. Really nice play again from Gomez to see him in. It just was always going away from him after his first touch. Wormy's just put just about. Philip Mason's put yes, trophy. It's a long way to go yet, Philip. Damien has put hi, Connor. Can you tell me how Keane gets sent off for pushing the player but then gets it? Yeah, I think it was a soft yellow. The fella that Sarr did to kick a right chunk out of Townsend. He nearly took Benitez out with him as well. Wormy's put, don't know why the refs read Moise, but not the kid who pushes him in the back. I've said it was a soft one, but I still think it was silly to react in front of the referee like that. Human, he didn't slap him. He just sort of body checked him, shoulder barge, like pushed shoulder into him. But then the ref just straight away brandished a red. And I think the lad that was caught up in the altercation, he pushed him in the back. Like Wormy said, he got a yellow card for it. I thought they were both going to get yellows, to be fair. So I was quite shocked when I saw him pull a red. And in all that, Andre Gomez came on for Branthwaite, which I didn't even realise he was on until I saw him surround the referee. To be honest, he was a bit of a surprise. And it took a while for their apps to notice it. I was looking at one of the apps and it didn't have that up for ages. Wormy put was never offside. What a finisher! Yeah, he was miles onside in my opinion. Really unlucky in that aspect. Damien's put a hard fought win, and Keane wasn't offside. Ref had a howler. Yeah, he did. The referee had a really bad game. I wasn't impressed with the ref. at all, to be fair. Humans Put was a pathetic game from the ref, picking his own rules. Yeah, a couple of you have said it. No, he just pushed him, should have been red for both or yellow. Yeah, a couple of you have mentioned it wasn't the best refereeing display, was it? And it doesn't help there's no VAR either, because obviously the red could have been looked at through VAR. Moise Keane's goal would have stood through VAR, you'd hope anyway. That's what it's there for. Holly Fletcher's put great move from winner Digne. Composure was class when he came on. Great move for the winner. Yeah, Digne being brought on, I think, just did it for his experience and a level head. And as much as Nkunku was good, I feel like Benitez just wanted, a bit of experience there. It has to be said, though, I was really impressed with Iwobi for his goal. Townsend, I thought, played all right. Tom Davis and Nkunku, though, really impressed me. Really good players. I thought Tom Davis was harsh to go off. I wouldn't have took him off. But, it is what it is. But I thought Tom Davis played really well today. The guy that pushed Keane on that red before Keane reacted earlier provoked Davis too. So he's been told to go out and just cause a bit of mayhem then. Tom Davis didn't react though, and I think that's, that could be the one criticism you give Moise Keane. Shouldn't have bursted out and shouldn't have done it right in front of the referee. Southern Blue Dino's put both offside goals were not offside. Keane shouldn't have reacted, but the Huddersfield player was lucky with a yellow too, but we're through. Exactly that. Keane shouldn't have reacted, and we were unlucky in some aspects, but we got through, and that's all that matters. I think I'd be more annoyed if we sat here at a 2-1 loss, but I can sort of, not forgive and forget, but it's a lot better in hindsight that we've come out of it with a win. We could have gone 3-1 up. To be honest, towards the end, Damari Gray, really impressive again. Looks to be such a good signing for us. Rob Thorne thought Gray looked lively again when he came on. Great. Yeah, Begovic's save was really, really good. That was going straight for the top corner. And Gray did look good again. He seems to be one of our really good signings. He's impresses me game after game. Damien's put Keane should have had a yellow. Yeah, I think it was a yellow in hindsight. They both need to show a card, if anything. Human, he was the Huddersfield player was shown a yellow for it, I think. Jabs put our second string are poor. We are probably paying more players who aren't playing than who are. Yeah, this game did show one thing, and we do lack really good depth. A couple of players played really well. Tom Davis played really well, like I said, and Nkunku I thought played really well. But there were a couple of players I just thought. Gabriel Tees said Keane reckons he's massive after destroying Farmers and got pocketed by Huddersfield pub locals. I think that's been a bit tough. He did score and it shouldn't have been offside. His red card, like I said, you could argue he shouldn't have reacted in front of the referee, but it's a silly one from him. But he is only young, you know what I mean? I don't know. His goal should have counted. I'll give him that. A proper ref would have yellowed them both. Poor refs like him needs spotlighting. Yeah, that's a problem though. I think the refs in the Premier League are sometimes very protective, so I don't think we highlight them. I think they should be mic'd up for the VAR discussions as well, like you get in rugby union, so you can hear every decision being made and the logic behind it. But I don't know, maybe they're doing that because they don't want, referees are quite protected, but they also are on the other end of abuse quite a lot. So I don't know if it's that for that reason. Hackins put all subs did good. Gomez Digne made a real difference. Gray did not get enough time to shine. I think Gray still did well. He could have scored. I think he did all right. Angela Webb put a win with 10 men into the next round. Job done. Exactly that. Luckily, the referee didn't, massively damage it. We're through to the next round, and hopefully, fingers crossed, through after that as well. Hopefully, we get an easier draw. That would be nice. But we'll have to wait and see on that. Looking further down, I think maybe the club will appeal the red. I'm not too sure though. Bergobbe did well. Greta saved us. Keepers and Graves looked alive. Yeah, Iwobi played really well. His goal was really well taken. A lot of you were saying you don't agree with the red card, and I did think it was, I did think it was a yellow as well. Wormies put Tottenham have paid Sarr Pat for 50 million what? Are you saying they? I can't fully understand that. Sorry, Wormy. Gray is class, value signing of the window. Yeah, he looks really, really good. I'm really impressed with Andrew, with Damari Gray. Every time he comes on, he just looks dangerous. And he's something we've missed for a while, and that is a dribbler. How can we have 3 centre backs but not defend corners? Yeah, I'm not too sure, and I think he might have been Michael Keane's man, if I can remember rightly, which again isn't great. It's mental. Looks like they're getting Pat. All right. Gray's getting better and better the more games he plays. Yeah, unknown. He is. Every time he plays, he's a lot better. He's fast. He's direct. And he looks like he's got an end product. Okay, yeah. Yeah, he looks to be really good. That's to reply to Wormy and Damien as well, who's also added it. Yeah, Inky said when he was in the pre-match that he's very highly rated. I mean, he looked okay. He took a massive chunk out of Townsend, who I thought was already running the ball out of play. So I don't know why he's booted him, other than the fact he just wanted to boot him. And nearly took out Benitez as well, who luckily moved his legs. But yeah, I wasn't overly impressed with that Saar, but I don't watch him week in, week out. Maybe he plays a little bit better. Out of curiosity, though, guys, let me know down below who you think your man of the match was for the game. I personally, I'm probably going to go with. It's a tough one because I think I'm probably going to go with Iwobi. He got him and Townsend got a goal. I would maybe give it to Townsend if not Iwobi, but I think Iwobi just pushed it for me. I thought he had a really good game. Looked attacking. His passing was quite good as well. Looking at some of his stats, his passing success was like 86. I just thought he played well. Andros Townsend, though, also played very, very well. But let me know down below who you think your man of the match was. Looking at it now. Yeah, don't forget, guys, if you can like the stream, that helps me massively. Really appreciate it as well, as does everyone else on the channel. So please like the stream if you can. Just takes 2 minutes of your time. Not even that, maybe. So thank you to Unknown and Southern Blue Dino. Appreciate the kind words, mate. Wormy says Benitez can still sell. So he did move quickly, didn't he? He did pull a bit of a 1 foot, 2 foot, because he moved out of the way of the ball, then quickly out of the way of the player. I was impressed with how quickly he moved. John Devins put Keane never a red. He's a fool for reacting. Yeah, that's my sentiments as well. I was like, the red's probably a bit tough, but fool for reacting in front of the referee as well. It was right in front of the ref. It was a bit silly. Peter Collins has put that Gray was his man of the match. Yeah, he did play well when he came on. So to be fair, so did Andre Gomez when he came on as well. Damien's put Begovic kept us in it. That save was really, really phenomenal. Like and subscribe before you all leave. Yeah, cheers Unknown. If you could do that, that'd be massively appreciated, guys. Daniel Sousa's put Iwobi man of the match. I agree, mate. I thought Iwobi. John Devins put Townsend, who was my second choice as well, to be fair. I thought he played well. I couldn't pick a man of the match, slim pickings, but threw it to Townsend from Mr. Monk. Yeah, there were a couple that played well, but no one played outstandingly. Iwobi played well. Townsend played well. Gray and Gomez played well when they came on. Tom Davis played well before he was taken off as well. I thought Nkunku played well as well for a bit. But there were no standouts like at the week, like at the opening game when it was, Decore or Richarlison. There were no standouts. Wormy put, he is young. Richie did the same thing. Yeah, that is, Moise Keane's quite young and obviously a bit fiery, but I think it'll be interesting to see what happens. Does he stay? Does he go? I'm sure Benitez will have a word with him. And we'll probably tell him that it's not appropriate to, react like that in front of the ref. Peter Carey's put the Blues must appeal the red card. I think they'll try to, but I don't know how much success they'll have with that. John Devon's put credit to Rafa for making the right changes when we're down to 10. Yeah, they paid off. Andre Gomez came on, played really well. I was quite impressed with that. He's a player that I don't always rate, so I was quite impressed to see him come on and perform. Big Nos has put Iwobi, but again, officials were awful. Yeah, Iwobi was mine, mate, and I agree with it about the officials. Wormy said he looked happy when he was dancing with Iwobi. Yeah, I said this to my dad. I was like, for a player who supposedly wants out desperately, he actually looked really happy, didn't he, dancing with Iwobi for his goal. He looked like a lad who wanted to be here then. He looked quite happy. Maybe he is, you know. I don't get me wrong. I've said before I really like him, and I hope it works out for him, and I hope he wants to be here. But when I saw him smiling, I thought, you know, it doesn't look like a lad who wants to leave. John Devine's put Rafa man of the match, changed my mind. That's fair, mate. Yeah. Why don't we have a Donkey of the Team award? I could pick a few. That's from Mr. Monk. Yeah, I feel like picking that would be a lot easier than picking man of the matches in some games. I mean, I'm just glad we ended up pulling it back around. It could have got a lot worse, especially once Moise Kean got sent off. The last thing we needed was a slip up, and I don't think going to penalties would have been the right thing to do either. I don't know how good Begovic is at pens, but I'd rather have Jordan Pickford in goal for them. So I'm glad it didn't go to pens, to be honest. I thought we played really, really well, all things considered. I think we played well in the first half, for half of it. And then I don't know what happened, but there was a point where we just couldn't get out of our own half. Huddersfield pressed with like a lot of intensity. Because before then the game looked end to end. Both teams, you know, had real good chances, but we sort of struggled for a bit. They had 10 shots, we had 8. We created more chances though, which is, you know, it's worth pointing out. But they were a lot better passes wise. They absolutely they made 161 passes in our half to our 151 in theirs. They just boxed us in at one point, but you know, football's football. We ended up coming back, and this is why I think the direct style of football suits us as well. Again, you could argue our second goal was quite direct. It was out to the wide areas. Andre Gomez did really well to control it, to manage to get his cross through, and Townsend really, really well. Like, fair play to him for being there. And taps it in. So again, it was direct football, and stats like that go to prove it, don't they? You don't need to, you know, keep the ball and have like 90% accurate passes. You know, sometimes a ball down the line and a ball straight into the box is all you need. Southern Blues put, I think Moyes will stay, but James will go. I do think Moise Kean will stay and James will go as well. I think James Rodriguez is definitely going to go. Unknown Unknowns put well done to Rafa. Yeah, fair play to him. He got the changes right. He's not afraid to make changes, is he? That's the one thing I do like. I said it in the pre-show, I think. He sees the game, reads it, and he's not afraid to change his formation, change his team. So it was really impressive. He's quite proactive. I'll say that. James Brinkley's made up to see a manager proactive and change the game rather than leaving to the last 5-10 minutes. I think that's fair as well. It's a lot better than last year where, you know, we go a goal behind and probably wait way too late to try and make our way out of the game. We're a lot better now with our game management. His game management is superior compared to last year. I think we're a lot more proactive in our changes. Peter Collins has put great support tonight. Our boys sang throughout the... Yeah, the away support was really impressive. Huddersfield Stadium looked quite empty in places, and apparently they didn't give us a lot of tickets. So to still be heard over them was really impressive. Southern Blue Dinos put, I thought John Joe did okay tonight. Yeah, I don't think he did awfully. I think he did the job expected of him. Obviously he was playing as a wing back, in a free at the back. So I was happy with it. It wasn't, Wormy's put, we're not good with 5 at the back. We do tend to get pegged in. And James has put, I will have to say, I hate 5 at the back. We always look uncomfortable. Yeah, I don't know. That's the one negative I'll say about, the manager. I don't know why we went for a 5 at the back in this game. I don't think it suits us. Last year we saw that. It gives our centre backs way too much time on the ball than they need to, and we just struggle. But luckily it all went well for us in the end. But I think a 5-3 at the back isn't our formation. I think sometimes teams are just not made for that, and we're one of them. It's not Benitez's favourite position, formation. He normally likes to play 4-2-3-1 or 4-4-2. So I'm not too sure why he did it, but I mean, it all worked out in the end. So I guess you can't complain too much. I would say this though, I hope he doesn't deploy that on at the weekend, because I think that's got improved any theory he might have had. Maybe thought because we played it last year, the players were inclined to play it again, sort of suit it. But I think he's learned the hard way that we're not a 5 at the back, 3 at the back team. John Devon's put the team a lot more energetic than last season. Yeah, they do. The team look a lot more aggressive as well. Like you said, last year we'd sit back and absorb pressure. This year we seem to have a bit of bite, and we'd go out against teams and press and counter press, which is really impressive. So I was very happy to see that type of style of play. That's the whole point. We've got to be aggressive. We've got to be in their faces. Got to be a bit physical, which I think Benitez, from the 3 games we've played, that is certainly what he demands. He demands physicality. Don't forget, guys, if you could like the stream, that'd be really appreciated. It takes 2 seconds of your time, and we really appreciate it on the channel. All of us, not just me, all of us that work on the channel would really appreciate it. Xavier Cross has said Gray looks like a golden buy. Yeah, he does. I'm really happy that he's turned out quite well. Obviously 25, he's got a lot he had a lot to prove, and he looks hungry and looks like he's ready to prove himself, and that's the type of attitude I think we want at the club. Well, I certainly want it anyway, so it's been absolutely fantastic to see. A couple of you have mentioned Shabamin. I think he played okay. I think he struggled a little bit, but it's his first proper game back of football for quite a while. I mean, he played okay. He wasn't the best, but he wasn't, he didn't have I think he struggled. I think he struggled slightly. I think that's a fair comment to say that he struggled. Unknown says Gray definitely best buy of the season. Best buy of the season so far. We're not done yet with the window. Jonathan Martin said, got to change our set piece defence though. Woof. Yeah, you know what? Even their second goal, which I think it was obstruction and it was ruled off or offside from Fraser Campbell, but that's a second goal from a set piece. Got to sort it out. I thought we had it sorted under Ancelotti, and obviously David apparently was very good set pieces. Why? Maybe we need to get a set piece specialist coaching, because we struggled with them under Silva, and that was nearly 3 years ago now. We need to get this set piece problem sorted. Someone Blue said, I like the 4-3-3, but Rafa isn't afraid to tinker. Yeah, I personally prefer the 4-4-2, just because I think Richarlison and DCL are better in the central positions, playing off each other. But he's not afraid to tinker, is he? Which is a good thing. He's not stubborn either. There were times, Marcus Silva being one of them, he'd stick to his formation, which is that 4-2-3-1, and it wouldn't work, and he would not change it to the 4-3-3, which was supposedly his best formation. And I think that's ultimately one of the things that cost him, his refusal to change. Chris Lee's put great win considering, probably made too many changes, but got through it. Damari Gray's a breath of fresh air. Yeah, I think pushing to a 3-5 back was the changes alone were obviously would have took some getting used to, but going to a 5 back, changing your formation as well was a bit too much for me. But like you said, we got it through it in the end. John Devine's put set pieces as a throwback back from Martinez era though, which is petrifying. Yeah, exactly. Set pieces have been a problem for a long time, so we need to get it sorted. Wormy said probably be good at a mid-table side, John Joe. Possibly, yeah. I've got a couple of Celtic fans who weren't keen on him last season. I don't think he's the answer. He might do for this season if we can't get it right back in, but I don't think he's a long-term answer at the club. Unknown said that Huddersfield gave us a fight, but we won. Well played the Toffees. Yeah, Huddersfield, fair play, really did give us a fight. Wormy said he doesn't trust our centre, but I wouldn't even. I'd drop Michael Keane and I'd play Yerry Mina and Godfrey at the weekend. Onwards to Truth has put agree. A 5 at the back is a no. Yeah, It just doesn't work for us. I don't know how to explain it. I think it gives our centre-backs too much time to think on the ball, and I don't think they're thinkers on the ball, in the nicest way. Michael Keane proved it on the first day. If you give him too much time, he panics, the blinkers come on. In a world where every forward is a pressing forward nowadays, it's too dodgy. Eugene said, do you think the sending off for Moise Keane at Huddersfield tonight in the AFL Cup? R2 Trappy said the same. I think it was tough. Glenn's also said, Glenn's asked what it's for. It was for a shoulder barge off the ball. I think it was tough. I think it was a yellow, if I'm being completely honest, but I also think it was a really silly thing to do right in front of the referee to react. Probably naivety on his half. He's a young lad, maybe naivety. But even so, it was a little bit silly. But I think it was a harsh red as well. I think both of them are yellow because the lad was already all over him, and that's what caused it. Onwards to truth, but our Premier League squad is a diff level. Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, that's the other thing. We're missing, Allen. We're missing Decore. Jordan Pickford, although Begovic did play well. Seamus, the right back, Seamus Coleman. Luca Dean we're missing, who's big and massive, and obviously Richarlison and Dominic Calvert-Lewin are two massive names to miss. But I think they needed the rest, especially Richarlison. Wormy said, I can't blame him, but it's moved right the way up then. Can't blame him, but something about a free man off. I'll find your comment now. I know you're on about, but 3 of them doesn't help. It makes them worse. Yeah, I completely agree. I can understand why you would want a 3 at the back, 5 at the back, but it doesn't matter how many you stick there. It just seems to, make them panic more. Peter Collins says we will improve when Neymar signs. I mean, maybe one day, who knows? Jonathan Martin said, I thought red was fine, but the other guy should have been seen red too. Well, that was the other thing, I think the other guy got off quite lightly, but from what the replays weren't very good on when I was watching it, they weren't very good. They weren't close enough to see, real reaction. But onwards to truth, but many of ours on the pitch tonight had a little or next to no games played. Yeah, I think that's why Shabamin struggled slightly, because he's had little to no game time, and a couple of others you can see, had struggled slightly. What are your thoughts on Keane's red card? I think it was a bit tough, but I think it was also a bit naive of him. AT&T connected, so all good. Good. Southern Blue Dinos put John Joe Kenny did okay. I want him to do well somewhere, but we need quality at right back pace to get forward. Will we get him in time? I don't know. I think it's heavily dependent on James Rodriguez. All of our transfer is people need to leave, so I don't know. It depends on if we can get rid of James Rodriguez. Heart and mouth when Keane is on the ball. Moise Keane looks to be sulking. Moise Keane I thought was unlucky not to get his goal chalked off. Michael Keane is my biggest worry. I do panic when he's on the ball. John Devine's put right back has been blown out of proportion. We have Coleman, Kenny, and Godfrey. Godfrey's not a natural right back though, and his crossing can be quite dubious. I don't think he's a great crosser of the ball, and the way Everton play football, we need that. Coleman, I think it's okay, but he's getting on a bit. I think we're more saying this for future, and I don't think John Joe Kenny's the long-term answer. Don't get me wrong, we're not in dire straits. The left back position's just equally as you got Luca Dean or Nkunku. Then after that, it's a bit short, a bit worrying as well. But I think the problem with the right back is we need someone who's going to take over when Coleman goes. And we thought that might have been Dumfries, but that fell through. Interference on the keeper, yeah. Fraser Campbell's interference on the keeper, but it was still a set piece, goal to concede, which is a bit worrying. Tough to ask to play a two-man mid when you haven't played footy for 2.5 years, but he's done that. Yeah, I was glad to see Shabamin actually got the 90. I think that's massively good for his fitness. I was a bit worried when the Huddersfield lad kicked him in the ankle and he went down. I was a little bit worried about that, but it ended up all right in the end. And he needed to play a full 90. He needs his fitness up. So a couple of others of you said it. John JC72 said full first 90 made up for him. Yeah, I made up that he got it. I said in the pre, I want him to play the full 90 ideally, and he has done. I'm very happy with that. Taylor Narden's put hi Connor, not really happy with the result. I think Shabamin didn't have a good game, made many mistakes. Keane done good, but got a red. Bit annoying. Iwobi looks good. Also, Gray best signing in years. Yeah, we've mentioned Shabamin. I said I think he struggled fitness wise. He's not played properly in 2 years. I think we'll see better of him when he's match fit. I don't think he was fully match fit. Moise Keane did well till he's red. It's a bit harsh, but it's very naive of him to go off and shoulder barge the fella. And Iwobi and Gray both look really good. Iwobi definitely is one of the players, one of the best players we've signed in recent years. For the price, anyway, like 1.5, 1.7, very, very good. I think when proper fit, he'll be solid for us in the middle. Yeah, I think Shabamin, once fully fit, will be a really, really good player. Mains really liked him when we bought him. I think he just needs to get match fit. Huddersfield, to be fair to them, played well. They pressured us. They kept us in our own half. It wasn't an easy game. And like someone said, with a two-man midfield, there's no room for passengers. If you mess up, you leave someone. So he had to really work hard in that two-man midfield. You can't, watch in a two-man midfield. So, I can understand. Darren Menny's put 3 at the back, looks a way better system for Everton. I disagree. I politely disagree, mate. I think it's awful. I don't think we played well with a 3 last year. A couple of others have said it. I don't think we suit a 3 at the back formation. I don't think we push out hard enough, to be completely honest. And the fact that our centre backs seem to think they've got the world to hand on the ball. But I don't think 3 at the back suits us. I think we're better with 2 at the back. 2 centre backs. So I'm going to politely disagree. To be honest, mate. I feel like we should have just stuck with what the lads have been playing all season. He said just boot Holgate. I don't think Holgate's the Holgate's not the one I've got a massive problem with either. I think Michael Keane's the one I've got an issue with. When he's put, it was because we sacrificed in mid for a centre back, so there's no mids to pass the ball, so they pass sideways, no space to get into trouble. Yeah, once we brought Andrew Gomez on, it looked a little bit better. But I thought Tom Davies played really well. Fear Brown put Moise Keane shouldn't have done that. With Keane, it was just a bit naive, a bit silly, a bit naive. I don't think it was a red, but it was a bit naive of him. So it's unlucky. Charlie Price is a Huddersfield fan. He said, I thought we gave a good game. Personally, I think we should have won. Good luck in the cup. Well, cheers for the cheers for the support and saying good luck. Yeah, you played really well. I have to say that you played really, really well. You put on a really good game, to be fair. I thought Huddersfield played really well. So fair play. Darren's put Mina has done nothing when he has not played with Keane. Why now? I think he's one of our better centre backs. I really don't rate Michael Keane. I think him with Godfrey would be better because at least he's got some pace behind him. I'm a big fan of Yerry Mina. I think he's very good. I think he's not just good like ability-wise and physicality-wise. I think he's very clever at getting into people's heads. I think Bamford really struggled against him. I think with Godfrey, with a bit of pace next to him, that would be the ideal one. Michael Keane, it's getting to the point where, how many mistakes is going to be enough before he gets dropped from the team. I'd be very surprised if he plays on Saturday, but you never know. Peter Collins put Keane got a red because of the player's reaction. The ref was weak. I'm not a massive fan of the official. I've said that a couple of times. If we play 3 centre-backs, we have to have pacey wing-backs. That's the major problem. I don't think we have got pacey wing-backs. I think that's the other major issue. We don't press far enough out, and our right back, left back aren't rapid. Luca Dean's good, but he's not, blistering with pace. And Seamus Coleman is 30-odd years old, 32 now, Ben Ellis has put nothing wrong with Keane's goal, totally onside. Not sure what Keane did just for a straight red. Good to see Shaban get 90 minutes. Gomez excellent when he came on, as was Digne and Gray. Yeah, Keane's goal should have counted. Completely should have counted. If we get any takers for Keane, we should sell him in this window. On about Michael Keane there, I think. Yeah, I agree, mate. I think if the price... Well, I don't know, actually. I don't want us to be in a position where we're panicking for a centre-back. But Darren's put Godfrey seems exactly like Kyle Walker to me, playing at right-back or in a free. I think he struggles crossing-wise. I saw a bit of him last season when he played there. I think he played 1 or 2 games there. I don't think he's a very good crosser of the ball, and we need a good crosser of the ball there. If he was a good crosser, I'd agree with you, because he's certainly got the pace, and he's very good, but and he obviously goes on strides as well. He's known for going on these striding runs, but I just feel like once he gets to crossing, it's not as good as it should be. If you can improve crossing, then maybe right back, but I mean, I wouldn't loan Shabamim out either. I'd keep him, but I think he needs to get up to fitness before he just pushes. So you know what I mean. I quite like Shabamim. I think once he's fully fit, he'll be okay. John Hannon's put Patterson from Rangers is a shout if we can get Stevie the cop out to sell. Yeah, I saw he laughed at the 5 million bid, but I think if we offer 10, 15, I think he accepts it then. I think it's a different story. Apparently Rangers are owing, I read somewhere before they owe 11 million in transfers that they've not paid. So obviously they probably do need money. And I think if you offer 10 to 15 around that, he'll probably accept it. It's probably a different story then, and he's not laughing then. Shabamim will be okay when fully fit. Got to be patient. That's from Big Nozza. I agree, mate. I agree with that completely. We sort of, I think we need to give him some time. It's his first game back. Darren's put Chelsea play 3 at the back. Unless you're an elite team, 3 at the back is by far the best. Yeah, but unless you are an elite team, 3 at the back. Yeah, but that's Chelsea, mate. That's Chelsea. They're a very, very good team. I don't think we're near Chelsea yet. I think, and I don't think 5 at the back, 3 at the back is the ultimate formation. I think it just depends on what fits your team. City don't play a 5 back, and City won the league last year, so it's what suits your team. And I don't think a 5 at the back suits Everton or the players we've got for it. Settings has got lucky. Town deserved that win. Got robbed with linesmen's. Well, we don't think to be fair, Moise Kean should have had his goal counted as well. So, Coleman is younger than Messi. Yeah, but I mean, he's also younger than Ronaldo. But if I said to you, which one would you rather have in your team? I don't think many of you, if I said Messi or Seamus Coleman, I don't think many of you say Seamus Coleman. I don't think you can sort of do it by that. We do need a right back though, because if he gets injured, we've got John Joe Kenny who's okay, but I don't think he's the answer. And also he's not very fast. We need pace, and like you're saying, play a 5 back, but we need pace for wing backs for a 5 back. And James Coleman's not fast. He's a good player. Don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking him. He's just not fast. I think his pace has gone down. Settings is clearly a Huddersfield fan. Unlucky, mate. Unlucky. I was quite complimentary about Huddersfield as well, but unlucky. Mark Hansen's put, why was Moise Kean sent off? He shoulder barged. The goal was a goal. It was disallowed for offside, but it was onside. And his sending off, he shoulder barged the player off the ball. He'd had a bit of the lad fouled him. Moise Kean stopped and shoulder barged him. I think it was a soft yellow. It wasn't violent. I know it was sent off for violent conduct, but it wasn't violent conduct. It was just a shoulder bar. It was, if anything, it was just it was just a bit of a pushing and shoving match. I've seen worse in primary schools, but ultimately the ref sent him off. I don't think it was the right thing to do. I think it was very soft. Both should have been a yellow for me, but. John Barrow put Gomez played well when he came on. Yeah, really impressed. Really impressed with Andre Gomez. Got to be said. I wouldn't say Darren. I wouldn't say Messi is rubbish because of his age. I wouldn't say Messi is rubbish because Messi's the best player in the world or one of. Seamus Coleman's not the best right back in the world. It's a matter of opinions. Like if you think Seamus Coleman is that good, then fair play. But me and a couple of others would politely disagree and say that that's an area we need to improve on. It's all a matter of opinion, mate. But if you rate him, then that's fair enough. But I just think we need another right back. Taylor Narden's put next round. We'll go through, mate. Hopefully the players can take some good criticism, maybe a few bits more before next week in the transfer window. I think so, mate. I think it's going to be one of those where we go to the deadline day, which makes it a little bit more exciting. I watched deadline day last year and a couple of years. When we don't do anything, it's a bit, it's a bit dull. But I think, this will be a deadline day where it's quite a lot of us just because we're going straight to the wire in terms of getting people out of the club. James Rodriguez, I think, is going to go. Can't be sure, but I'm almost 80% certain I think he's going to go, and I think he wants to go, and Benitez wants him to go, which ultimately, if that's the case, he's definitely, they're definitely going to try to push him out to a club. Apparently AC Milan are one of the favourites for him. And then I think after that, we've got a list of targets, Hop, Booter or Patterson, and I think we're just going to start going, here's the money, get them in now. Quickly. But, we'll have to wait and see on that one. Could we get Patterson for 10 mil plus add-ons from Southern Blue Dino? Yeah, I think so. I think 10 mil plus add-ons, anywhere between that 10 and 15, I think they start to think a bit differently. I think 5 million might have been a little bit of a low ball. But I mean, it's understandable to try your luck, isn't it? And to be fair, he's a younger lad in the Scottish League who plays second to Tavernier. I think he might want to move, if he can see the fact that he might get a couple of games here. I think if you offer them 10 mil plus add-ons, I think they look at it differently. I mean, you could try 10 mil and John Joe Kenny, couldn't you? Really, you never know. It might take him, but. If not 10 million add-ons, I'm almost certain that sort of changes them a bit. Angela Webb put Keane has to go. We need to get rid of him, but who'd buy him? I fear we're stuck with him until he goes on a free. I don't know. It's a tough one with Michael Keane because I thought he played well last season. One of the lads, Paul McAllister, I think it was, and James has said, I think it might have been James actually, stadium in front of fans. His head goes, which is mad because, like, thinking about it, it is what's happened. The fans have come back and he's sort of, his head's gone a bit. But my worry is if you get rid of him now, we're probably not going to get another sense back in this window. Wormy's put massive gamble, 10 mil for an unproven 19-year-old, but probably would. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I can see why they said 5 million because for that reason alone. But, obviously Rangers are trying to push for, I think they're trying to push for a little bit more. Like I said, if that story about them owing transfers is true, they will want that 10 to 15 to sort of cover their own backs. Why does Moyes have to go? His problems for Huddersfield. He was problems for. I don't think he has to go. No, I don't. I would be happy with keeping him. I would be happy with keeping him. It's if he wants to go. It turns out what the player wants. If he doesn't want to be here, then there's no point keeping him. But I mean, if we can find a player in him, I'd be happy to keep him. He was unlucky not to score. He was unlucky his goal didn't count. So I'd be happy with keeping him. He's not a player I want out. There's a couple more players I'd rather see out first, but. Taylor Narden's put another Iwobi at 1 minute before the transfer day ends. Hopefully not. I think it's what's the word I'm looking for? I think the club have their short list of players, and I think they know who they want to get, and it's just a matter of as soon as money comes in, we can start buying. Caden R. Liberd is a Huddersfield fan who said we were rubbish. Should it be us easy? We're going down. Yeah, I've heard. I've said I thought you played really well. To be fair, I thought Huddersfield played well. For one point, we were pinned into our own half for a large amounts of it. I'll give credit where it's due. Huddersfield put up a really good fight. So fair play. I mean, you play like that all season. I don't know if I don't know. The goal against Southampton is Holgate sleeping. I don't know because I've watched it quite a bit. It's defo Michael Keane who gives away the ball for the goal. So I don't know if it is Holgate. I get what you're trying to say, but I mean, if Michael Keane didn't lose the ball, I don't think that's Darren. It's all matter of opinions, mate. But I think Michael Keane is certainly has to take some of the blame there. Football Capos put Mina and Holgate starting centre backs from 4-4-2. I think Mina and Godfrey, mate. Personally, I think Mina and Godfrey are the better two. But I don't know how much Benitez. I don't know if he maybe Darren reckons that Godfrey might be better at right back, so he could be playing right back. You never know. I think Mina will probably play at the weekend though, and then it's a tough choice on who you put alongside him. Taylor's just got anyone in mind you want to see us sign? We need some low prices potentially. Not really, mate. Not in compared to obviously our worries in the transfer window. As you say, if you're offering me, an empty, a clean checkbook that I could rail off a number of players I'd love for us to sign. I don't, not particularly. I liked it when we were linked with Zakaria, but I don't know if centre mids. I don't think our priority. But I like Zakaria. I think he's a really good player. I think he's what we need as well. He's very physical. He's very tall. He's just very, he's a good tackler of the ball as well. He can play with the ball as well. He's just got that bite in him that is quite impressive. Other than that, I mean, a new right back, but I mean, who's available? Who's available? I wouldn't, it's tough. It is really tough under the current situation. If you offer me an empty checkbook, I'd say, a number of players. I mean, we were linked with Trippier at one point, but I just don't know how we'd afford his wages either under the current circumstances. The only thing that puts me off Trippier is he's not rapid, but he's very good delivery-wise. He's a really good player. He's not rapid, but he's fast. He's not a slouch. Dwight McNeil I quite like, actually. There's why I'd really like Dwight McNeil at the club. Chukwueze from Villarreal that we're linked with, really like the look of him. But I'd like Dwight McNeil more. He's got an end product for one, and his crossing's quite good. And he plays in a system where he's used to crossing the ball into big centre forwards. He would come here and essentially be told, swing it into Richarlison and DCL. I think he'd suit our style. So Dwight McNeil I'd really have liked to sign, but I feel like we're going to push that way, way too late. Well, Mina and Godfrey have done nothing for Everton. I don't know what this anti Mina and Godfrey and pro Michael Keane thing's going on in the comments, guys. But yeah, I think Yerry Mina's played well for us when he's played. I think his biggest problem is fitness. To be honest, Southern Blue. Big Nos has put a decent offer for Patterson and Rangers will sell regardless of what Gerrard. Yeah, I agree, mate. I think when he was laughing about it, he has an opinion, but it's not down to him. It's down to their owners. And I think if the offer was good enough, their owners would sell. Southern Blues put Holgate's versatile. I'd sell him for 15 or less. I'd sell Keane for 15. Holgate was rumoured to be going to Brighton. And I think if he went to Brighton, he'd actually suit the Graham Potter's style of play really well. I think he'd do really well in that Ben White role. Graham Potter would probably make Holgate look really good in his system. That'd be a really good move for him. I think we're probably going to keep all our centre backs though. Taylor's put Hammers out. Defo, I wouldn't mind that. Correa, apparently he's going to go to Inter Milan. Supposedly, apparently we've made a bid in Inter and he's just waiting on Inter Milan. Which is a bit of a shame. We're linked with Kuna as well, but he's going to Atletico Madrid from the sounds of it. Football Capo put if Keane is being shown the door, then it doesn't sound like you'd Toffee's rate your defence. I thought you were an Everton fan, mate. Sorry. We rate. I think as a universal, if you take in large proportions, I think we rate some members of it. I know Holgate's got his some of his fans and some of his not. Some people aren't keen on him. Same with Michael Keane. Some people like him, some people don't. Yerry Mina is another one. I thought Ben Godfrey was universally quite well liked in the fan base from what I see and people I speak to. Wormy's putting Babu from Wolfsburg. That would be a good one. That would be a really good one. I quite like him, Babu. I really like Mbabu. I think he's a really good player. He's very strong. Kone from Lille is a nice one. Selig as a right back from Lille is okay. He didn't have a great Euros, but he was playing in Turkey, a Turkey squad, and that was a tough squad. But I like the look of Selig. So he might be one to look at. But I think he'd cost us a bit as well, to be fair now. Peter Collins put, if we gave Dyche 5 million and Michael Keane, he'd tell us to. I mean, that was the other thing. I think Michael Keane would play well under Sean Dyche. He's another one. I think if he went back, Jonathan Martin's put Mina's a beast. Wormy's put don't worry. Cheers, Wormy, mate. Big Noz has put silly comment about Mina and Godfrey. He must. Yeah, I thought they were both universally quite like Jerry Mina and Godfrey. I thought they were. I quite like them. I think they're one of our stronger pairings. You don't see a lot of them together though, for a shame. Taylor's put, where's Kuka Martina? Let's have him back, probably better than Keane. Mate, I know he's got his criticisms, but I wouldn't go that far. Jeez. Kuka Martina. I'm sure Anatoly and Alcaraz is somewhere knocking about as well. But yeah, I mean, I thought we played well. We'll go back to the game. I thought we played quite well tonight. All things considered, we played well for the first 30 minutes. I thought then we sort of got penned in. Then we struggled with the sending off. And then towards the end, I think the last 10, after our goal, we played a lot better. It shows how much football's based on confidence as well. Because once we got the second goal, like I said, Damari Gray could have got a third. It shows how much confidence matters in football. You get a goal, Huddersfield, once they got their goal, were right up against us. It's just all about momentum, isn't it? I always think football, everyone gets a chance to attack, everyone gets a chance to defend at least once. It's about taking your chances, and momentum's a massive part of that. If you score, your players are well up for it, and that's what it was. Alfie, mate, Keane got sent off for a shoulder barging a player off the ball. I'd have given a yellow, but apparently it was a red. Rafa, Southern Blue Dino's put Rafa will probably have a list of must-haves and will-dos. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping that it won't be a panic on deadline day or whenever we sell Hammers. It'll be, right, we got the money, let's get these bids off, which I think we will do because we're linked with a lot of players and some of them are sticking, like Hop's been linked for a while. When he's putting those socks to eBay. Yeah. God, yeah. I mean, I think he probably is available, I don't think Monaco play him. Football Cappers put Amaguna and co, but we're doing so rubbish. So I'm sitting for Everton, being a fan since the day I saw Rooney come up. Fair enough, mate. Fair enough. Yeah, I've got a couple of mates who are Arsenal fans. It's a bit tough at the minute, isn't it? I mean, I'm going to go slightly here, but I always liked Arteta when I was younger. Him and Tim Cahill were like Tim Cahill first, and then Arteta as a second or third favourite player. Always Tim Cahill first, but I used to love him and Arteta growing up. they were my favourite two Everton players when I was younger. Taylor's put, I'm loving the stuff Rafa's producing, bringing good stuff out of players we don't usually see. Yeah, well, I mean, that was one of his positives, wasn't it? When he was, when he got appointed, people who were supporting him said he gets good performances out of, shall we say, not the best player. I think that's fair, not the best players. He works well. He's very good with, utility manager. He works well with the tools he's got, and he's proving that a bit, Neil Proctor put Sidibe was a good player. He was okay, Sidibe. He was okay. He had good games, but he also had some games where I thought he was a bit, defensive awareness was a bit poor. But, I mean, he was okay for us. Football's put Mina playing well, which is important for me. Mina's playing really well, mate. Really enjoy it. Are you Colombian by any chance, or are you from London? Or Wormy's put Keane got sent off because the ref was on one. Yeah, that was the other one as well. Keane got sent off because the ref thought it was a red. If Big Nos has put if Keane. I've just lost. If Keane's goal had stood, we would have destroyed them. Yeah, I mean, again, momentum, isn't it? If Keane's goal had gone in, we'd have been right up against them, kept that momentum. And it could have been a very different result. I don't know why they don't have VAR in the Carabao Cup. Most likely a deadline day signing from Jackson Fox. Probably, maybe. I think we're going to get at least one on deadline day. Hopefully before then, because it's just better. But I can see at least one on deadline day. Wormy's put Iwobi looked like he picked up a groin strain. Yeah, hopefully he's okay. We can't afford injuries. Our squad's quite. It's not the best depth wise, so we can't afford injuries. Football's put respect out. That'd be for the art. Yeah, mate. Him and Tim Kerr were my two favourites. I just, I love good midfielder. Wormy's put most likely deadline day signing Moise Kean on loan somewhere. I'd keep him. I would really keep him if you can sort his head out. Today was unlucky. Naive but unlucky. I don't think it was. I think it's just a silly thing to do. But I think there's a player in there. I'd keep him because if not, it's up to Dominic Calvert-Lewin to do it all again on his own. And last season he looked a bit tired towards the end and fatigued. Looking at a couple more of your comments, Eugene's put, who was Everton's man of the match tonight? Huddersfield, my man of the match was Townsend Connor. That's a good choice, mate. I said Townsend was my second. I went with Iwobi. But Townsend, very, very good. His crossings are very good. I know he has to cut inside on his left, but his crossing, there was one point where he crossed from quite deep, turned on his left, was quite deep and crossed it. And it was such a dangerous, it hit the 6-yard box. And it, honestly, I think if we were a bit more on it, it could have been a goal. If Dominic Calvert-Lewin was playing, he might have been able to suss that out. But he's a really good player, Townsend. Looks to be, quite a little bit of a buy. I'm quite happy. Football's York, Colombian Gooner. Nice, man. I don't know what primo means. I'm really sorry, dude. I don't know what primo means. But no, nice. When we put the Queen is older than Townsend. Southern Blue said, I can see free incomings with only Hammers going out. Yeah, I don't think we'll be. Don't get me wrong. I don't think Hammers will unlock, a six signing window. I think we will get a right back. Well, I think we'll get that Hop, and I think we'll end up trying to go for a right winger. My problem is I don't think Burnley would sell McNeil, unless it was for big money, because they are struggling in the right wing department. If he goes, they don't have many wingers. I know they've got Aaron Lennon on a free, haven't they? Or they've got him on trial and they might sign him. So that just shows how much they need a winger. They're on about entertaining Aaron Lennon again. So I don't think they want to sell unless they're so desperate to. So maybe we need to look at another right winger. But I don't know who you go for, who's available. Like I said, that Chukwueze, Leon Bailey feels like a miss. It's yet to see how he does at Villa, and he'll have to, get into the squad. But it's a bit tough. We're gonna have to think. Darren put Davis man of the match for me. I thought Tom Davis played really well. Darren, I actually thought he played really well before he was taken off. I quite like Tom Davis. I really like him. He seems like a really good guy, and I think he's improved. He's had to play a number of different roles under every manager we've had, and I think he does that. Adjusts quite well. Townsend massively impressed me with his set pieces at Crystal Palace. Not been great so far. The one of his corners I wasn't impressed. One of them went miles over. The rest looked okay, but there was one corner I was like a bit. But his crossing's very good from when he cuts inside. I think Townsend will be a good utility player. I think we'll probably get in another right winger though before the window ends. So we'll have to wait and see on that one. Big Noz has put you right. There is a good player in Keane. Yeah, I agree, mate. And also, he can play as an inside forward. So maybe right wing wise, if we stuck him out on the wings. If he played as an inside forward, could play off Dominic Calvert-Lewin and get a goal. That's another option for us. That would be quite open to. Wormy's put should have signed Waminga Tuka while he's injured. It's a bit of a mad one. He's changed his name recently, hasn't he? To I don't know what his full name is now, but supposedly changed his name because it's not his proper. But yeah, Waminga Tuka looks like a good player, and I think Stuttgart are a good team, but I think we could have, pushed to get to get him, and I think they would have ended up accepting the bid. But we'll have to wait and see who we get. I don't think at the minute the world is full of very good available right wingers, so it's a bit tough at the minute to decide who to say who we'd go for. I know a couple of people on the channel like Dan James. I mean, he's okay. He's very fast, but I think he gets knocked off the ball a little bit too easy. But we'll have to see what comes up. I'm sure they've got a good. I'd like to see us go outside the Prem, to be honest, just because I think Premier League clubs charge you a little bit more because you're Premier League teams, and also I think there's better. I think there's a variety of good options outside of the Premier League. Wormy's put very far. Is that Wamingatuka or is that Dan James? Well, both, to be fair, are rapid, but Dan James is fast. Darren's put, I don't rate him. I think he's okay. I don't think he'd change us massively, but he's fast. I mean, that's one thing I will say. He's rapid. Dan James, yeah, he is rapid. Wormy. I remember watching him for Swansea in the cup. Before he went to United, and I remember saying to my flatmate at uni, I was like, he is unreal in terms of pace. It's scary. Football Capo, James is linked with AC Milan, mate, supposedly. It's yet to be seen if he goes, but apparently AC Milan. Darren wants James in the team. Yeah, I don't know if he wants to be here, though, which is the only problem. There's no denying his quality, though. Southern Blues, but if we got a very good right back, would you be okay with that Shabamin coming back and Moise Keane stay? With Shabamin coming back and Moise Keane staying put? Yeah, if we got a very good right back, I mean, I want Shabamin to stay. Anyway, I think he can be a really good player. And Moise Keane, I'd be happy to see stay put. I really like him. I think like I said, I think there's a really good player in there. You've just got to unlock it. But it's tough, isn't it? Hello, Semi-Child Life. If Everton let Hammers go, we are Burnley. I don't know, mate. I think he wants to go. I don't think we're Burnley. I think we've got better play. Better. I think we've got a better infrastructure than Burnley. For instance, Bramley Moore is going to absolutely, it's going to make Turf Moor look like a shed. I just think if he doesn't want to stay, it's a tough one. But like Wormy say, he won't make a team, and if we can sign 3 players for him leaving, then there's a case that overall it's okay because you lose one and you get 3 good players. But I mean, it's all in hindsight. I say this, but it's very much he's hindsight and stuff. But I'm going to end the stream there, guys. I just want to say, don't forget to like the stream. Again, we really support it on the channel. We really appreciate it. And that would be absolutely fantastic. Don't forget to subscribe as well. We've got plenty of stuff coming up on the channel, plenty of Everton stuff in the week and at the weekends. So don't forget to do that. And don't forget, if you need any new Everton kit, the link in the description down below, Everton Direct. If you buy it through that, really helps the channel out, and we again really, really appreciate it. And most importantly, stay safe, guys, and I will see you very, very soon.